I'm going to lick.
Too easy.
3, 2, 1, go! Gotcha!
There are so many people who are new to the Monster Hunter series right now. Hell, just looking at player numbers, you can really get an idea on how successful this game is seen. However, for people who have been into this franchise for a bit, especially if you got to participate in one of the betas, you probably know a lot of the tricks that this game can pull at you. At least personally, having come from just fighting Fatalis, it really wasn't gonna hit the same. Literally, some of these monsters just delete half your health bar each time you get hit. Something that I learned that I really enjoy when fighting monsters. Add on to that some mechanics that they brought in, and lowering isn't really shaping up to be that hard. So I came up with a bit of an idea to make it harder. What is it? I'll let you know when I picked it, since it was kinda improvised on my first playthrough. And on that note, let's get right into it. So, we begin with a little bit of background to one of the main characters we're going to have along the way, as well as with a little information the guild knows about the era we're going in. Personally, I really like this start. It really leans into the show don't tell mentality, but it doesn't take too long before we're able to make our character. Now, I thought it would export over from the beta, which it did, I just didn't know where it was in the menu. Yes, I am that blind. I end up spending 7 minutes remaking my character before I realized the option is there. Though at that point I had already finished, so I'm able to reuse the cat design. These are the kind of mistakes I make. From there we get a bit more background into our character, before getting launched into our first sequence. Essentially a reintroduction into the slinger, as well as how to pilot a circuit. It's pretty much the same as in the beta. It teaches you that you can use your slinger to grab things off monsters, and that you should interact with the terrain and attack monsters with them as much as you can. And after not too long we're able to get a weapon. I stick with the charge blade since it's my bread and butter at this point, and we make our way over to the Chupacabra boss fight, which goes like this. Yeah, in the second beta period I was able to get the hang of Charge Blade once more, and while it still feels a little bit sluggish, I have more than learned how to make up for it with the focus mode. So yeah, from there we get to camp, look at some of the other outfits I have. I end up staying with the leather outfit because I really do like it, and then we head out to the next mission, which basically is just a way to show us around the map, though it does end up with us losing access to our secret. We kill a few bugs, and then we head back to camp. From there, we learn that a supply shipment is being delayed, so our next mission is to go look for it. When we arrive, it's basically Looney Tunes. We gotta defend the cat chips. At first I'm like, oh shit, it's a cockatrice. Which, if you know what a cockatrice is, yeah, you don't want to mess with those. But thankfully it's just a fire one called a chematrice. You see what they did there. So we deal with it without too much trouble. It has wide sweeping attacks, but overall it's not that dangerous. But yeah, once we deal with it, we're able to keep our secret and get invited to the best part of Monster Hunter, the food. It has no business looking this good. Anyways, from there we head out to the new area of the map, which is a massive rainforest. We wander for a bit before finally getting to the base camp. Basically, we're looking for hints on this thing, so we're trying to make our reach as wide as possible. So we end up going around and exploring with some of the NPC companions. However, our fellow hunter's companion ends up getting captured by this massive arachnophobia trigger. However, it doesn't take that much effort to take it down. After this, we return back to base camp, and with this smithy set up here, I'm reunited with one of the weapons I used in Monster Hunter World. I also have the chance to make some armor from the monsters I fought, but so far the monsters aren't really posing that much of a threat. I gotta say the secret is an amazing recovery option, maybe a little bit too strong, and aesthetics wise none of the new armors really resonate with me, so taking inspiration from one of my older videos, I plan on sticking along with my leather armor for as long as I can. And while I don't have access to that functionality yet, I plan on not upgrading it either with armor spheres. If you would like to see the last time I did this, although unintentionally, feel free to check out this video I'm linking above. I definitely had a fail trying to survive in high rank armor and master rank in world. I'll also leave a link to the playlist in the description if you would like to see it. And while you're there, feel free to drop a like like if you enjoy the video, or subscribe if you enjoy this style of content, or just my general stupidity, cause that's definitely not changing anytime soon. The amount of support that all of you have shown this channel is so encouraging to me. It really means the world. Our little community keeps growing so fast. So let's keep growing it, okay? Thanks! Now, having been reunited with our weapon, we head back to one of the pop-up camps we established earlier, only to find it being ransacked by otters? We go along with what they ask because we follow what the best handler says, only to be led to their area. They want us to deal with the monsters that's bothering them, so we head out to it and... Really? In here I thought it was lowbrow when I used it. Anyways, we beat up the whoopee cushion without too much trouble, honestly. I don't really end up learning what smelling bat does. So, once that's done, we now actually head back to the pop-up camp. Yeah, if this isn't clear by this point, the game is trying to tell you that pop-up camps can be destroyed without too much trouble, honestly. More pressingly, we see that this pack of Doshaguma are heading to the village that we were helping earlier. We go to try and help them, but their chief's in a bit of trouble, dealing with some of those sand monsters we fought in the epilogue. We go to save them, but naturally we end up picking a fight with one of them. It doesn't take us too long to take out though, it's not really that hard. But yeah, we head back to their village to warn them about the shock. Anyways, we're too late to warn them, so we end up having to lead them out and having to fight them. Now, packs of the Shagama are led by an alpha, so our handler tells us to pick at it so that we're able to make them disperse. With that, we're able to drive it away, leading it into another monster, which it promptly folds. Now, our objective is to fully hunt it, which goes about how you would expect. I will say though, this monster actually gets me pretty close to getting carded, but overall, we are able to have the village be safe. From here, we end up heading back into the jungle to check up on how that group is heading on their research, only to see that they've come across a rather dangerous monster. How do you know that it's dangerous? The game actually gives you a teammate for this. Now, with Duna is genuinely the first wall of difficulty I felt throughout this. It squished me to death. This monster has massive hitboxes, as well as having damage reduction as long as it has water on it. The counter to this being is that if you remove them, which naturally will happen as you fight it, it causes it to become much faster and much harder to dodge. A lot of its attacks are extremely hard to dodge. Given that I can't really tank them, this emphasizes how much I need to make use of the circuit. Now, after getting enough damage to it, it retreats into another area. Now, I see this thing over here, so I try to use it as a trap only to, yeah, I got stuck like this. I end up running around for a bit, trying to not get hit while I try to figure out how to get out of it. Which, if this ever happens to you, which I doubt, but could happen, just open your menu and then leave it. That should reset you back to neutral state. Now, once that's over, we're able to keep hitting it until it retreats to its last area, the top of the waterfall. Up here, it recharges its water veil a lot more frequently, and its attacks will always leave out ripples that can trip you. But overall, it is a very slow monster once it has those protections on. So any weapon like mine that has shield will have less trouble here. And once you're done...
Understandable, have a nice day.
12 seconds later.
Yep, the monster we've been looking for this whole time just kills it. However, we're not really able to give chase at the moment. One thing we can do now, however, is head to the next area. We arrive at this massive crafting civilization, which is preparing for a festival. However, if many years of D&D have taught me anything, is that when festivals happen, things tend to go wrong. Which in this case, yeah, one of their people is missing. So we had to find them. Now, a monster is roaming around the area where they are. This, now I'm sad I call the other one whoopee cushion. This monster deals a lot more damage than the other ones. However, its attacks are very telegraphed, so you can see what areas of the floor are gonna explode. Of course, if you get caught mid-animation, yeah, it's gonna hurt. So we deal with the monster without too much trouble, only for their festival to, not really work. And on top of that, the White Wraith is back in the plains, so we can't really stick around too long. We make a beeline for it, and there we're able to find it, as well as the main monster for this area, the Rey Dau. It looks like the White Wraith kills it, but in truth it only managed to enrage it. And given that we have a village here, as well as a base camp, yeah, that won't fly, so we end up having to fight it. And I'll say, this monster is way harder than all the other ones we fought so far. Unlike the Youth Duno, this one is extremely fast. It has the ability to fly around and fire lasers at you, so it doesn't even need to get close if it wants. It also has a really strong attack where he focuses all his lightning into one spot, making so you need to book it out of the area before it lands. And especially given our gear, I do my best to make sure to not get hit by it. At first I struggle really approaching it, and once I'm close, I struggle to actually deal any damage to it before I need to book it away again, or it just flies away. Plus, I'm consuming a lot of my healing items. So truthfully, truth be told, I'm really losing the momentum here. Up until the monster starts getting wounded. Because you see, when the monster starts getting wounded, this happens. Yeah, you basically get this opportunity to deal massive combos on it, creating even more wounds or even knocking it down. This opening helps me deal enough damage to force it back to its nest. But a little bit more into the fight, something happens. Yeah, getting stunned basically means that I will die to whatever comes after. Though I gotta say, I really do appreciate how it went for the most flashy finisher that I could have done. It felt straight up personal. But once I come back, I see that this happens. As per usual, I was a few more hits away, so I go to try and capture it, only to realize that the mission right here says slay, which means that what I was trying to do wouldn't have worked. Now, I'm able to survive a few of its massive attacks with a literal crown of health, but until... So, having cleared 2 out of the, I'm guessing 4, at the time, I know there's 5, zones in low rank, I decided to call it here for the session. Next, we'll head back into the oil basin. I know from the trailers that there's this massive fire monster there, and I really want to see it, but it'll have to wait till next time. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I am having such a blast with Wilds. I really love games like this that give you so many tools, to the point where you can choose to omit some of them to make the experience more fun for yourself, like me and my armor. It also makes it so that I get to practice a lot with the secret and all the new mechanics and environmental effects that are around the maps. I also gotta say that I really love the type of combos that Charge Blade now has. It really is a thrill to just get to brutalize a monster in just a few moments. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for now. Since I'm doing this challenge, feel free to comment down below which monster you think will be the first one to absolutely murder me. Oh, and if you'd like to join our little community for when we do our first community hunt, feel free to join our Discord, link in the description. Your support really means the world to me. It motivates me to keep going and do the best I can with this. But for now, that's pretty much all I have to say. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Say I hope to see you next time. Bye, see you later.